Welcome to the very first lecture in dynamic meteorology. I'll be covering the important topics in formal study of dynamic meteorology. The atmospheric motion is governed by the basic laws of conservation of mass, momentum, and energy. To study the effects of these fundamental laws of conservation, it is essential that we understand the fundamental forces associated with atmospheric circulations. Pressure gradient force is one such fundamental force which causes winds, clouds, rainfall, even cyclonic formations, and a whole lot of interesting atmospheric phenomena. So, why do we study pressure gradient force and not just force due to absolute pressure? Note that pressure in itself does not cause motion in the atmosphere, but it is the horizontal and vertical gradients of pressure which causes the horizontal and vertical motions of the air. So for example, a change of pressure of 20 millibar per 2000 kilometers is sufficient to affect a cyclone. Okay. So let's study this pressure gradient force formally. Let us consider an infinitesimally small control volume in the 3D Cartesian coordinate system with size delta x, delta y, and delta z. I'll be using delta to define the delta x and delta y, and I'll be using del, so basically del p by del x as the gradient. So in an infinitesimal volume, you'll have the gradients of pressure in all the three dimensions x, y, and z. So let's say the gradient of pressure in x direction is del p by del x. Similarly, you'll have the gradient of pressure in y and z direction as del p by del y and del p by del z. Let's say that the center of this cube, that infinitesimal cube, is x0, y0, and z0. And our focus is to formally calculate the resultant force F due to the three gradients of pressure in the three directions, three dimensions. Okay. So let's say if you want to calculate the resultant force, we have to calculate the forces due to pressure gradient at various surfaces. Okay. So we'll start with the one dimension in x dimension, and let's say that the force acting on the face A of this cube is Fax, and the force acting on face B is Fbx. Now since the distance between the center of the cube and the face A is delta x by 2, and the similar distance is between the surface B and the center, we can multiply this distance with the gradient of pressure, so that the resultant pressure at surface A is P0 plus del P by del x and multiplied by distance, so delta x by 2, and we'll have the higher order terms also depending on the gradient of gradient itself and so on. But in this lecture, we'll basically drop these higher order terms and we'll focus only on the first term of the Taylor series. Okay. So similarly, you will have the pressure at the other faces also. So given the pressure on the face FA to be P0 plus delta P by del x into delta x by 2, we want to calculate the force. So pressure is basically force per unit area. So the force itself is pressure into area, and the area of the face A is delta y into delta z. So you multiply this pressure with the area, and since the Fax force is in opposite direction to the gradient of pressure in the x direction, we'll include a minus sign here. So force at face A will be minus of pressure at 0 plus the gradient into delta x by 2 and multiplied with the area of this face. So this is the final expression that we get for force at face A. And similarly, we can calculate the force at face B Note that there will be two differences. One, that we'll subtract delta x by 2 from x0. So you'll have minus of delta x by 2 multiplied with the pressure gradient, and the force is in the direction of pressure gradient. So Fbx is in the direction of the pressure gradient in the x direction. So we'll be using a positive sign here. So the force on face B will be P0 minus delta P by delta x into del P by del x into delta x by 2 and multiplied with the area. So delta y into delta z. Okay. Now the net force itself will be the summation of two forces. So the net force in the x direction will be Fa plus Fb. So vector sum. And if we basically take these two terms and add them together, what we are left with is minus del P by del x. So if you look at the expression for the force for B and the expression for force at A, and you take the sum of these two, you are left with minus del P by del x into delta x into delta y into delta z. Okay. Now this is the force on the entire cube. Okay. But what we really want is to normalize this force with the mass of the cube. And if we are given a cube with a density rho, we can find the mass of the air in that cube to be rho, the density, into volume. So the mass itself is rho into delta x into delta y into delta z. And if you want to calculate force, that is a net force per unit mass, we are left with force per unit mass is Fx by m is minus 1 by rho into del P by del x. So this is the force in the x direction. We can similarly have force in y direction and z direction as minus 1 by rho del P by del y and minus 1 by rho del P by del z. We can take a vector sum of these three forces. So Fx plus Fy plus Fz. So this is a vector sum, and which will be the sum of these three in the corresponding directions as minus 1 by rho gradient of P. So gradient of P is the vector del by del x I plus del by del y j plus del by del z k. That is a vector here. So this is our final force due to pressure gradient term. Thank you.